welcome to our used 2016 Salem 26 TBUD. Starting right in your back bumper here, if you just pull that cap out of there, you'll find the sewer hose. Took note of those two ears on the adapter here to help you hooking it up to your sewer system, and the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping the sewer hose stored in the bumper back here to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things a bit fresher. Around the corner from there, you'll find your power cord outlet. So you pop that open, your short cord comes on out of there. Standard 30 amp end on it. Most campsites have that. You can plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter. So if you're looking to plug in at home and charge batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. Cable inlet on top, satellite on the bottom. Coax cables plug into the respective ports, fire up at your TV location. Down underneath there's your sewer system. Kind of press on that cap, pull it out of there. It has the same two ears on it that your sewer hose has. It'll attach the same way. You got a gray valve on the left, black valve on the right. Black valve is controlling your black tank. Black tank is filled from your toilet. Of course, going to be your dirtiest water, so we'll dump that first. Once that's done, you can then come to the gray tank. Gray tank is going to be filled from your sinks as well as your shower. Typically cleaner water. We'll dump that last to help keep that sewer hose as clean as possible. Towards the front of the unit, you get your storage compartment. As you open that up, you get the little finger on the side there, just holds it open for you. Straight through, does see straight through the other side. You also get your water hose here with the park adapter, so your 30 amp short cord into there, 15 amp to a standard household outlet. Around front of the unit, this black box here has got your battery inside of it. As long as you're plugged into that short cord in the back or your 7-pin to your tow vehicle, that battery's charging for you. Underneath this cover here, you get access to your propane knobs. For the video, I'll just pull this right off. And I can show you that changeover in the back. So it's currently green and pointing over here, so it's just letting us know we're running off of this tank and we've got propane. If it were to go red, it's letting you know this tank's now empty. At that point, you just close off this tank, turn the changeover so your arrow points over to the other tank, and run off of that one until you get the other one filled. In front's power tongue jack. On the right's your little light switch, and on the left, up is up, down is down. Little service light over on this side here. Then we get the other end of your storage compartment. So inside of here, you're going to find the weight distribution hitch. The previous owner left that behind, so he's left that in here for you as well. Stabilizers, just on this switch here, you press the button, extend, and they'll make their way down. As you can see, they just kind of equalize. They don't level the unit, they're just stabilizing it. So once they come down all the way, you'll be able to hear kind of a bit of a load on the motors. Once you hear that, you're going to stop. If you were to continue extending, you can actually strip the gear pack right out of the motor, which of course you don't want to be doing. So that's all we want right there. This little T-latch here, let's sit under there, hold the door open for you. Exhaust for your furnace here, so if you're ever running your furnace, you just want to make sure that's not blocked off. It does get hot. Straight up from there, you'll find two exterior speakers. Kind of in between them, you get your stove vent. So two little ears there in the bottom corners, just hold that shut for you. So whenever you're using it, you want to make sure that's open. Going traveling, you're just going to pop those ears back into place, and that'll prevent any dust from kicking up in there. Straight down, you get the hot water tank. So that keyway there, you just line that up, and you can pop it on open. All your controls for turning it on with propane are just inside of the unit. So once we get in there, we'll do it that way. If you're firing it up with electricity, you just get the little switch down here. You're just going to hit that switch, fires it up with electricity. Before turning it on with either source, though, you just want to hit this relief valve right there. If it were full, you would get some water coming out of there. If you're not getting any water out, there is a chance it's empty, and you do run the risk of burning out your elements. So you just want to make sure it's full before firing it up. Once you're done, just lining up that keyway, lock it back into place. GFI protected outlet, service port for your fridge. Nothing really back there for you to worry about. This guy will drip some water every now and then. That's perfectly normal. Freshwater inlet, so water hose will plug into there, turn on the water, and that'll fill up your freshwater tank. New drain for it, right down in between the axles. It's a little white petcock, I believe. Yeah, so right down there you can see it's just a little cap. You just unscrew that, allows the tank to drain itself out. Switch back here for your rear stabilizer jack. This compartment here just kind of gives you access to that little bottom bunk. And then in the back of the unit, you get a spare tire. Right behind it is your city water connection. So your water hose will plug into there, turn on the water, and that'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. Now we'll make our way inside. Your assist handle here just up 90 degrees and it falls into place, then we can open up the door. Like I showed you earlier, you get that T-latch to hold it open. For your steps, you grab that bar, pull it straight out, flip that last step over, step inside. The first things first, right on the left, you get your fire extinguisher. That's standard. Pull the pin, point, and shoot. Up the wall from there, this light switch on the far right does your awning light outside. The light switch on the left does your one interior light there. The rest of the lights throughout the unit are just on their own switches. For your slide out, press and hold out, and that slide will make its way out. Once that slide's fully extended, we're just going to hear some clicks from the motors that I know they've reached their stall. Just like that. Switch beside it is your awning switch. Press and hold out and the awning will make its way out. Once that awning's fully extended, we're going to see a little white flap come down as well as the black metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to stop. If you're to continue extending, it will actually wind itself up backwards, in which case your fabric will be underneath the tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. So there's our flap and there's the tube, so we'll stop right there. Now if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways. So what you can do is grab either arm, front, or rear, just pull straight down on it. You can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. And if you like that angle better, because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just make sure these guys are back out straight and fully extended, just so you're not running the rest of the bending it. Then you can press and hold in, the awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just watching to make sure that the fabric's on the top of the tube. Last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind, so once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in, again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. Center left here, you've got your water heater switch, so as you turn that on, you get that little red light there letting you know the ignition sequence will start. Once that sequence is started, this light's going to go out. It's going to try that 3 times. If after that third try the hot water tank doesn't fire up, this light's going to come on and stay on. At that point, we'll just turn that switch off and back on to reset it. Stood right here, you can hear the click of the igniter and the whir of the flame. We know it's good. Water pump on the left there, turn that switch on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Up top, you get your monitor system. So on the left, we have battery. You can see we're currently C for charging. G would be good, F is fair, L is low. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, will go to 1/3, 2/3 and full. Same idea for your black and your gray. Towards the front of the unit, you get light switch right up on the wall here into the bedroom. Get a power outlet there, as well as a little laundry chute. Just goes straight into your storage compartment outside. A little bit of closet space here. If you pick up the foot of your bed, you can get access to your storage compartments as well. And right above the head of the bed is a little light there, just on its own center switch. More closet space here. Right behind me is an emergency exit. Your standard blind here, just pulling that up and out of the way. You take this red tab here and pull on that to get rid of the screen. Take this handle, throw it outside, pop on out. Your blinds do just have these little kind of holes in the sides of them. Just sit into the little holders there, just kind of prevent them from bouncing around on you. Yeah. Carbon monoxide alarm. All right, that's gonna go a few more times. For your sliding doors here, they just have the 2 travel latches. If you were to slide them closed all the way, we'll show you right away here. This entertainment unit would flip around and you could have it facing into the bedroom or into the living room as it currently is. You just have that travel latch in the bottom corner there. Simple as that, flips around. Underneath it are all your outlets for it. So you can see it is currently hooked into your stereos. You do kind of get your surround sound for it. Cable and satellite outlet on the top here, antenna outlet down on the bottom. Turning that antenna on, you just hit that button there, you get that little red light letting you know it is turned on. Your power outlet on the other side there. Storage space underneath. Stereo kind of beside it, pretty straightforward. Right, so speaker set A is your inside set, speaker set B is your outside set. Into the slide out, lights on its own switch, as well as down the rest of the unit, just on their own switch. You got all your storage space up top. You also have a storage drawer underneath the couch. The couch does also fold down. You're taking your 2 side cushions, just kind of getting them out of the way, flip it down, there you have it. In the dinette, you got your light there, push button right inside. If you were to take your dinette table, wiggle it up and out of its table legs, it's then got the ledges that the table can sit down onto. You'll take your 2 back cushions here, throw in the center to create your bed. LP detector, so propane's heavier than air. It sits on the floor. That guy detects it, starts going off just like a smoke detector would. Up from there is your thermostat. Press that power button there and it's going to come into fan. So typically you're just going to leave that in auto unless you're looking to just move some air around. Then you can select your high or low fan. After fan, if we hit mode, it'll come down into cool. Select your temperature just with the plus minus there. That'll fire up the air conditioner. So with your air conditioner going, you got 2 different options. You can have this louver here closed, in which case we'll be using all the ceiling ducting to move our air. Or you can open it up and it just dumps all of its air into the living room here. So when you first get out to your campsite, you want that open, cool off this area as quickly as possible, then close it off and start moving the air throughout. After cool, if you hit mode again, it'll come down into furnace, turn off the air conditioner, turn on the furnace. Furnace will be moving its air through all of our floor registers. Mode again after furnace comes down into on off and just turns everything off. Into the bathroom here, the light switch is right up on the left wall there. Toilet flips on open, you get your flusher on the right side. Toilet paper dispenser installed. The previous owner did also leave some toilet paper there. It all appeared unused, so I've left that here for you. GFI protected outlet, test on the bottom, reset on top. Medicine cabinets. Hot and cold water at the sink, of course. A little bit of storage down below it. Just being mindful of your drains and your water lines. And then in the shower, you get the standard head and hose. Hot and cold water, of course. And then right above my head is your ceiling vent. Roof vent. I'm just going to turn that knob to open it up. And you can see you do have the max air vent installed already, so if it's raining you can still keep this guy open, and then you switch in the back there and turn on the fan. Your bunk spaces, the 3 of them are identical. You just get the one little light there. Same thing down here, you get the emergency exit, and then this guy here where you had that storage compartment door. You also get the little privacy curtain here. Just pull that around, of course. A little bit of pantry space, and then some drawer space. Converter here, press the top and center, it'll pop on open. You get all of your breakers down the middle. Whenever a breaker breaks, it sits in the center, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. All of your fuses are on the right side. For the fridge, you get your power button on the left there. With that auto on, it's first looking for AC power. If AC power is taken away, it'll automatically flip over to gas. If you're out boondocking and you want it running solely on gas, you can have that button come out over flush. It'll fire up on gas. If that check light were to come on, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired up. At that point, just off and back on to reset it. Freezer up top, and your fridge down below. Temp selection just in the top right corner there. Microwave, pretty standard, just like home. Down below it, you get your range vent, so you have a light as well as your fan. For the stove, you're going to turn it over to light, hit that igniter. You can see she fires right up. Once you're done, just turn them all back off. For the oven, you're going to grab a lighter, open it up, turn that knob over to pilot, and then right in the back there, you get that pilot light going. Once you get it going, you just hold the knob in for another couple of seconds, then you can release. The flame will then hold itself, turn up to your desired temperature, and she fires right up. Once you're done, just turn it back down to pilot. It'll hold just that pilot light for you, but if you're traveling or leaving the unit, you just want to make sure it's right off. Return air down below it, so just kind of making sure that's not blocked off. Get your drawer space here as well. Some storage again underneath the sink, being mindful of your drains and water lines. Hot and cold water, of course, and just a little bit more storage here. You also have a little light here as well. Yep. And that's about it. So if you've got any other questions on the unit, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.